people were thinking that it was fake or something like that, and everyone from India was like, "I swear to God, this is real."
Yeah, and then a couple of weeks later, now here we are. U.S. rates are cut down, and I mean, I guess the question is what's next. I've just checked the UK numbers, and it doesn't look like anything's been changed. I've reached out to a couple of UK friends, and nobody's reported anything. Um, I think though, like, this is gonna sound like such a dick move, but it's kind of like, fool me once, like shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. You know what I mean? Like, why did anyone expect better off of Amazon to like give people a heads up and not pull a massive dick move? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I mean, I've only been doing Amazon affiliates for less than 2 years. I think it was actually the end of 2018 when I got my first site. And I think that was a couple months after they had slashed it most recently. So this is the first time that I've gone through it because all five of my sites are Amazon affiliates. But like I I had the foresight to didn't know when it was coming, but I can't say I'm surprised that they slashed it. I mean, they're the biggest retailer ever. Like they could cancel their affiliate program whatsoever. It wouldn't really bother them. So, I mean, I think it's just a matter of being prepared and understanding that affiliate is a business model where the rug can be taken out of you at any time. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but you also have to be prepared for things like this.
I think the other thing though is that, like, everybody now is going to look to pivot, right? And I think that this is going to cause a couple of really, really interesting opportunities to happen, which is, first of all, for website buyers, I think that over the course of the next couple of months, as people see their returns diminishing, I think that for website buyers, this is going to be a great time, because a lot of people are going to potentially sell their sites massively undervalued, right? Um,
Yeah,
and
that's exactly
then
what I was thinking. Is
like
that I mean,
they're going to panic, right? And they're
yep.
going to need the money, and like, this is a horrible situation, so I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm trying to see the opportunities for people that are in our community, that are in our groups, that probably should leverage this time. And I think that the first thing is, yes, they can, people are going to sell their sites undervalued, just hands down. The other thing though is, um, man, this is such a great opportunity to just do some homework and research different suppliers and contacting them directly and negotiating better deals with them. Like, literally 2 days ago, I shit you not, we were doing some research for one of our UK affiliate sites. It's in like the home garden hobby niche. And we reached out to this one site that we saw has 6% commission, right? It's not
Mhm.
amazing, but they have an influencer program, right? So we were like, can we sign up for this and get a link as like as an SEO, instead of having like an Instagram or something? They're like, yeah. Can we also send you one of our products so you can try it out before you write about it? It's a £400 product. These people actually give a fuck about their products and about them and about like how they're perceived. And so what a lot of SEOs don't seem to realize, or a lot of affiliates don't seem to realize, is that yes, by going off of Amazon, you do lose the fact that with them buying the one product you sent them there for, they will also buy a bunch of random shit. And so like, you lose out on that. But a lot of the time you gain higher commissions, better service, long-term partnerships, people sending you free shit. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, and I mean, but let's be honest. Let's be real for a second. At the same time, is 99% of the community cannot be fucked to actually try and contact someone and work with them directly, which is one of the reasons. Kind of going back to what you're saying is why buying sites is going to be just massively valued, and every site is going to be undervalued in a couple months.
Yep.
There's so many affiliate sites right now that still say 2018, 2019 on them.
Yep.
They're just going to wake up one day and be like, oh, my commissions are down 50%. No idea
Yep.
why, because they don't check their emails. So they're going to be selling their sites at a discount. If you go in there, you're going to work with private deals or whatever it may be, even if it's just not even the actual manufacturer of the product, even if it's just another like big box retailer.
Yep.
You know, you're still going to be able to go in there and probably raise what the site is making very, very quickly. So, but I mean, the people that do actually spend the time and effort to work out those private deals, to actually work with the people who are actually manufacturing the product, I mean, they're gonna be winning all day long.
Yeah, for sure. And here's the thing. I wonder how many people, like, I remember at the last Chiang Mai SEO, I think it was last one, it might have been the one before that. Matt gave a talk on like creative monetization of affiliate sites, right? And he said back then to go ahead and reach out to your partners and try to negotiate better deals. He said back then to go ahead and try to rent out your pixel, right? The affiliate sites that are selling guest posts on their affiliate sites and are making money that way, right? And so it's like, you have all of these ways to monetize, and yet the problem is just because it's easy, the whole market is relying on the easy platform. And so I actually think that when we're 6 months removed from this time, like this point in time, we're going to see a bunch of people that will have given up Amazon affiliate entirely, and maybe like have given up their like the affiliate game and have gone back to client or got a job or whatever. But we're also going to see a bunch of people that are going to say, fuck, this was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm actually now much better off. I've got better partners. I've got a better income. It's more reliable, you know? And so it's to me, I actually think that within this, you know, quote unquote tragedy, there's huge opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of works hand in hand with everything that's happening with COVID right now. Is that there are so many businesses and agencies and industries that are collapsing, but there are also people finding massive opportunities with that. One of that being that there's a lot less competition. I mean, I've talked to so many people that, you know, their agency revenue dropped by like 70, 80, 90%. They've had to fire people. They've had to cancel a bunch of tools and whatnot. And all that tells me, like, yes, it's very unfortunate for them, but from a strictly business perspective, okay, great. Now I have 50 less people competing on me when I'm running my ads, when I'm going on podcasts, when I'm trying to rank a
Right.
page, whatever it may be. So, I mean, yes, it's sad, but if you're willing and able to take the opportunity, there's plenty of it to be had.
Yeah, and I think that what's also really interesting about this is it's it's not just going to, you know, thin out the market, but I also think that it's going to call a lot of people on their bullshit. Like, you know, for you mentioned the whole COVID situation, and obviously now this has happened, and there's absolutely no denying it. You know, we've felt it as a business, both in the agency side. You know, we had a couple of clients in the travel industry that obviously just got absolutely railed. We also had a couple of like hyper local clients that just said, look, we really want to make sure that we can pay our staff, so we're going to limit the spend on marketing temporarily and all of this kind of crap. And then on the SEO Butler side, obviously all of this kind of stuff happening creates a pessimistic market. And so obviously sales have been a little bit slow on the site. But the bizarre thing is, I think now I'm actually over the hump mentally, right? Like, obviously it's going to be tough, and this is going to last a lot longer than I think a lot of us originally anticipated. But now that I've gotten through the mental struggle of the whole like, oh shit moment, and we've started to make adjustments and stuff, I'm actually starting to really love it and started to feel like I'm going to thrive in this environment. And I'm obviously really fortunate in the fact that I have an incredible team that backs that mentality, right? But I kind of feel like the same exact thing is going to happen for people that are in this Amazon issue that's going on right now. If they learn to if they learn to now adjust, they can just pivot out of this and just rock it.
Yeah, I mean, so what everyone should do is take an hour, you know, bitch on Facebook for a bit, you know, complain to your friends, and then after that hour, like, stop complaining and then just figure it out. Because,
Right.
you know, like you can, it's not the end of the world. It's one affiliate program that said, hey, we're cutting our commissions. It just so happens that because so many people use it, that's been made a big deal. I mean, if Chewy.com lowered their commission rates, all the pet affiliates would be, outraged, but everyone else would be fine, and they just find somewhere else to put their money and their links to. So, I mean, yeah, complain about it for a bit, then actually, Google for what other affiliate programs are out there. And right now I'm all Amazon myself, but that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend is I'm just going to be finding other sites that have similar or better commission rates or looking for alternatives to just even affiliate. I think Charles just posted on Twitter. He was showing that I didn't read the entire thread, but he was showing off some math of how AdThrive or other RPM networks could actually make you more money now than with Amazon. So that's another thing to look into. If you've just been relying on Amazon affiliates this whole time, maybe now it's time for you to look at AdSense and other RPM networks for you to try to monetize your traffic that way. Or at the end of the day, it's not hard to just look for other affiliate programs. I think that there's a lot more people freaking out than they really need to. Like, yeah, it sucks if you're in the pet niche. It went from like 8% to 5%. That's pretty rough. Sorry, 8% to 3%, I think, which is really rough. But other ones are like 5% to 3%, or like 4.5% to 3% from what I saw. And there are plenty of retailers out there that have similar or higher commission rates. So I think it's just a matter of just do a little bit of work, do a little bit of research. And if you have funds lying around, wait for people to, 3-4 months from now, their sites have tanked and they haven't done that research and they're still profit and they're still they're still promoting Amazon affiliates. Scrape Google, just look for people that have Amazon listed in their button names in your niche. You can use like Scrapebox or a million other tools for that. Send all those sites an email because you know that their earnings at the very least dropped massively, and you're willing to take that site off their hands. So imagine this, if let's say a site that was worth $30,000 today is now worth $20,000 just because of the commission drop, and they're willing to sell it for $20,000, and you know
Right.
that all you have to do is switch out the affiliate program and it'll be making similar to what it was making beforehand, then that site is still worth $30,000. If you buy it for 20 grand, you're buying it at a discount.
And that's the exact mentality that people should have. And you know what's even funnier? You could probably make a deal where the site pays for your share, right? So basically you make them an offer and you say, look, I'll give you a little bit of cash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to take over all the negotiations, I'm going to take over some SEO strategy. You retain some share. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay you for my percentage by an increased amount of revenue until point XYZ. There are lots of ways to structure this deal. You come in, all you do is you pivot them from Amazon affiliate to another platform. They double their commissions, and off you go. Bob's your uncle. Now look, there are concerns, and Ryan, who's actually commented on the thread, made a really, really good point, which is, he believes that, it's going to provide a drop off in conversions because obviously Amazon is such a trusted source, etc. I think that is true to an extent, but I also think that there are so many big trusted retailers that have good Amazon program, like good affiliate programs, like even what Walmart's got an affiliate program in the pets niche. There's crap loads of sites in every vertical that has them. So many verticals, but also don't underestimate the possibilities of bringing in other revenue sources right now. Like you said, pixel rentals. Some people say sell guest posts on their site, which is an interesting one. AdSense, all kinds of methods, right? Building an email list, I think is really important. Some people are going to pivot out of this and say, you know what, fuck it. I only promote 3 products. I'm going to just manufacture them myself and just sell them myself. And I'm going to make, 70% margins. I think this is actually a blessing in disguise. Amazon is a very lazy solution and we all love it because it's a one-stop shop. It converts great. It's, there's tons and tons of comms out there. So it's interesting. Oh, let's see. So Ryan's just left another comment. I picked up wrong on what he was saying. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying because the economy in general, consumer spending will go down because there's less credit. They'll already have to get mortgages. I'm talking the macro economy. I'm just saying. Oh, right. Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Yeah, but that's more of an economy issue, which is that, I mean, yeah, the economy might go down for some amount of time, but it's, this isn't going to be the new normal where no one can ever go outside, where, people are permanently out of jobs. Like, I think that's a relevant statement, regardless of if Amazon were to turn around today and increase commission rates. I think that would still be a relevant statement that consumer spending is overall down. I mean, I have plenty of clients right now that are talking about how, overall, traffic is the same, but the amount of work that they're getting is just much lower. So even if you switch to a different an affiliate program, just the economy is the economy. You can't really control that, and consumer spending is down right now. But any economy has bear and bull markets. Like, I don't know if that's the right term for economy. I know it's the right term for stocks, but I'm not an economist. But
I know what you're trying to say,
yeah.
and I'm right there with you. Like, I'm no economist, so I'm not the kind of person that's going to be able to look at this and tell you what direction it's going to go. But I don't think it matters in the microcosm that affiliate marketing is, because people are going to continue to buy products on the internet and have them shipped to their home. It's as simple as that. People are going to continue to buy courses online. People are going to continue to buy SaaS products online. Now, the types of products might change, and the their overall spending might change. And yeah, if you're in like the private yacht buying niche, then maybe things are going to be a bit tough for you right now as an affiliate, right? If you're in the luxury housing market, things are going to be pretty shit. But I think, I don't know, I kind of think that all in all, things are going to recover. I think what's important for people to remember is that what we're talking about is we're not trying to make light of the situation because of the pandemic, and because of this, a lot of people are going to, come into, financial troubles or whatever. But my argument is, if you start acting right now and you start pivoting and you start listening to all of the great authorities that are in our industry, that, many of which have commented and are on this thread, etc., I think you're going to be okay. Like, even if things are going to get tight, it's going to get better. Daniel Birch, I think, just made a comment. Maybe it's just temporary because of Corona. I think that is a fair argument, but I would then counter argue and say, so what? If you can now find a reliable supplier that has a solid website that is willing to give you twice the previous commission, right? If you are on 4% and they're willing to give you 8%, why the fuck not switch, right?
Right. And it's also something to keep in mind is also because, just going back to Capital, which I can't even see his full comment. I don't even know how to find it right now. But switching away from Amazon, Amazon's going to have the highest conversion rate probably in almost every category for almost any sort of product, because everybody knows Amazon. Amazon has an infinite amount of money to run as many tests as they want with their website to make sure that their commission rates are insane. Their affiliate program is generous in the sense that you do get a nice dragon cookie, and you do get commission you do get commission on anything that anybody buys, assuming that they clicked on your link. But I think it's a matter of if you're switching to a program, not only what they pay out, but for your target audience, what is that program going to match with them? So what I mean by that, because I don't think I did a good job explaining that at all, is let's say you're in gaming, right? Like, let's say newegg.com. Most people who are into gaming or tech at all are familiar with Newegg. You show a site like that to my parents, they're not going to convert. So it's also a matter of just choosing something that your niche is going to be familiar with, and not just the commission rate. Because I'm not, people that aren't familiar with Newegg are going to look at that site and it looks like a pretty crappy, untrustworthy site. But if you're in certain tech sectors, then it's it's going to be very familiar with. People are going to be more than fine to convert on that. So that's something else that I would consider. Is just, even if a site has a 20% commission rate, something insane, but if it doesn't look like a site that people are going to trust, you might want to stay away from that.
Right, exactly. I think that was another really valid point, is that high commission rates don't mean anything if people aren't going to buy it, right?
Right.
And that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's recap. So Amazon comes out today, announces that the commission rates are going to be cut for a number of verticals. It's pretty drastic. I have to be honest with you, I'm not that surprised. And what we've kind of discussed so far is the fact that this is a great opportunity for people to pivot and find other platforms to work with and send their sales to, which I think is really, really powerful, because you can probably negotiate great rates. You can probably hopefully find sites that are as close as possible to the trustworthiness of Amazon, so that your conversion rates are still great. One of the things that we commented on earlier is that if you have direct deals, for example, with retailers that actually own their products, you might get free products, which is really, really cool. Great for giveaways as well. We just got a £400 product ourselves, which was awesome. I think that this is going to be an interesting rest of the year. And I think I made a funny survey in one of the groups that we have, and I was like, what is the thing that you've been struggling with the most in the whole pandemic scenario? And literally the top two the top two voted things were the isolation versus the fact that I'm really starting to be okay with being on my own and indoors all the time, right? And I thought that was really interesting, because for me, I quite enjoy going to the office. I love working with the team and stuff, but right now I'm really enjoying being here. I'm really enjoying being super duper focused on what I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying working very closely with my team to sort of mitigate risks as best as we can. And I think that a lot of people seem to be resonating with that too. I certainly am now kind of at a point where I'm like, why do we still have this office? And and obviously once this is all over and we can all have the office again, that's going to be great. I mean, you've been over to the office many times, just hanging out. But yeah, it's interesting. What we've done a really bad job of? We've done a terrible job at going through comments and stuff.
Yeah, I've been trying here. Let me see. I think most of the comments are just on your thread, so I'm just gonna keep that one open.
Gael just made another great little tip to add email opt-in CTAs or pop-ups and add them to your Amazon sites, because if Amazon isn't going to pay you very much, you might as well do the very best you can to collect emails. Obviously, you should absolutely have Facebook pixels on your affiliate sites too. You can rent those pixels out. It's really important. Let's see, what else do we have? I feel like there's so much. I feel like there's so much to cover with this whole pandemic, and I've been wanting to do a live for ages, and then this afternoon this whole thing happened, and we obviously weren't cool, and I was like, hey, do you want to jump on live?
Yeah. I thought I saw a good comment, but maybe I missed it. Oh well, I'll try to find it later. But no, I mean, if nothing else, there's going to be a lot of really interesting content coming out very soon and very quickly about all different things you can do in affiliate that a lot of people probably haven't noticed or haven't been researching themselves because they were just very comfortable with what they were doing. And so they've been shut out of all the conferences and all the blog posts and everyone else. And now they're going to come out and they're going to kind of look at, okay, what's the next step with everything that's happening with Amazon? Should I look for different affiliate programs? Should I look for private products? Should I do X, Y, and Z? So I think there's going to be a massive shift in how people do affiliate going forward, which could be really interesting, just because like of mainly people trying to look to see what else is there out there that I can do with these sites besides what I've been doing kind of mindlessly for the past couple of years, because that's what's always worked.
Right. Do you find, you look at a lot of affiliate sites that are for sale, and we've started doing that probably as of sort of mid-end of last year ourselves, just trying to grow the portfolio. Do you find that there is a very distinct grouping in how beginners build their sites, and then like the intermediaries, the intermediates kind of SEOs, and the big boys? Like I've noticed that a lot of the kind of failed starter sites that I'm seeing are like very, very niched, usually on like an exact match domain. And then like it kind of grows from there.
So I tend to see kind of the opposite, where I see people that are sort of more entering is that they try to go way too broad, and they have their website that is like, it might still be exact match, where it's like, runningshoereviews.com. And then you can see that they started off with running shoes. And then they're like, maybe I'll also start reviewing printers and lamps and,
Right.
monitors. That's good news. So it's just like a kind of like, an accumulation of just various types of pages on various types of niches. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like a broad niche site can work, but you're not from the approach that I see, where I see kind of people taking the what I've been calling kind of the level 2 kind of quote unquote affiliates, is people that are less so doing affiliate sites that are just come and read my content, click my link, and fuck off. Is more
Right.
so come to the site for a reason other than the affiliate, and you get something that's an affiliate offer on the back end. So a big site that does this is like Credit Karma. You come in and get your free credit report on the back end. Here are all these credit cards. Same thing with PCPartPicker.com or something like that, or like Build My PC. Which you go on, and there are various, if you want to build your own PC, they have like a tool where you can select different parts. You can, it'll tell you if parts are compatible with each other, I believe. And then for each individual part, there's a button to go to the retailer and then click it. So you're going on there to build your PC, essentially have all these parts. And then the back end is just, okay, great. This is everything you're going to have in your PC. Now go purchase it. And that's how I get the affiliate commission. They also do things like different people's PCs, like streamers or whatnot, where people can go on there. They can, even like a UGC or user generated content, you can submit your own build, and then that can be on their site where people can go there. So that's what I would call more of a quote unquote level 2 affiliate, is where the affiliate side of things is more so kind of like a back end offer, and you bring them to a site for the different reason rather than just best graphics card or something like that. But very few people actually have sites like those, and those are the sites that are going to go for very high rates, and they're going to be doing very well. A lot of the people that are just kind of throwing shit against the wall in a bunch of different niches, I find that their sites are generally worth nothing in my eyes, because it's just so fragmented.
Right. I think what's really interesting too, and this is something that I've started to see more and more of, and I'm really, really interested in this. I'm starting to see a lot of SEOs pivot into problem-solving content websites that are either affiliated with or are pushing their own micro SaaS. And I really love that, right? So in the most traditional sense, those were all of the like WordPress, WooCommerce type blogs where it was guides on how to do something, and then it kind of like linked you to some SaaS product or whatever. But now I'm starting to see this more and more in more verticals, and the micro SaaS products and stuff are not just in marketing, right? And digital marketing, which I think is really exciting. But yeah, one of the things that I would be really interested in is, right now, I think there's like 40, 45, 50 people watching this. Give us a comment and let us know if you're going to stick with Amazon, or if, in the next week, you're going to look for an alternative vendor. I'm just so intrigued to see whether people are actually going to try and pivot or if they're going to stick through this with Amazon. And I wonder if people are going to leave a comment.
I think I've gone through most of the comments. I think we've done a pretty good job at addressing pretty much
Addressing them.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything that we missed while people.
Well, if people are going to comment while they're doing this, one comment that I thought was very interesting, which was Rohit, who said, safe to assume other niches which have not been touched this time around will get hit soon. Look, I can't claim to know shit about what Amazon's planning to do, but it kind of goes back to one of the first things we said in this conversation. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? They shut down the Amazon affiliate program in India, as far as I know. Then they did this in the States. I'm fairly certain that they're going to make further quote unquote adjustments in due course.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. It makes complete sense that over time they can just do whatever they want. If they want to turn around tomorrow and be like, oh, you know, we've changed our mind. 3% was too high. It's now at 1.5%. They can do that, and you have no control over that. So I think being stuck in your way, like if you want to stay with Amazon, it's completely up to you. I'm certainly going to be looking at getting off of it. Maybe not immediately, just because I don't have the time, but in due time for sure. But I think you should, at the very least, know what your options are, so that next 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, when they tell you your 3% is now a 2%. That if you decide that now is the time to bounce, you already know what to do, and you don't have to spend months panicking and doing research. But I think it's good to have at least have some sort of contingency plan.
I'm just reading through these comments, and what I think was a really good point was from Ryan, who said he's going to pivot somewhat, but not completely. It's not an either or. And, I think that's a fair point. Like, we're not trying to demonize Amazon here. But what we're trying to say is that if obviously if people were affected heavily, like for example, if you had your entire your entire affiliate portfolio was just promoting something that is now at 1%, then you're probably going to want to, you're going to want to change, because you're fucked basically. But obviously, if you're in a vertical where you're still getting the 4.5% or whatever, then you may want to leave some products on there, start testing the waters, right? Like, look at it like a CRO test. Just A/B split test that stuff and see what the conversion rate is if you switch it for a month to this other vendor. How do they treat you, right? Mm-hmm. And don't forget this: if you have a site that's actually driving a decent amount of sales, the advantage with going to independent vendors is that you can negotiate rates. Right. And a lot of people don't appreciate this because they've never tried. And I think this also is a byproduct of a lot of affiliates being quite introverted and not being used to actually like going out there and having a meeting and having a phone call and kind of like challenging the status quo. But like, think about it this way. I did a deal with a good friend promoting this web hosting company a long time ago, and their base offer was $75, right? And we reached out, we had a lot of conversations. We hadn't sold a thing for them yet, and we managed to get them up to $200 commissions right away, and that was before selling anything. Then we got a couple of sales, we managed to convince them to go up to $280, right? So that's from $75 to that. Now, not every platform and not every vendor is going to do something as crazy as that, but let it be a guidance for the fact that most of them can do it, and you just need to get to the right person and show that you're of value to them.
Yeah, I mean, if your site looks good, if it's helpful, if there's a reason to trust you in the first place, then you're probably gonna have a much better chance than if they probably don't want to give a higher rate or endorse someone that has just like a crappy spammy site. But also, just like, aside from that, just reach out to them. Even if they say no, just ask them, okay, what do I have to do in order to if I can't get this increased rate right now, what do I have to do? Do I have to meet this sort of amount of sales per month, and then you'd be willing to give me that increased rate? Do I have to Do I need to do something else on my site? Do you not like that I promote X, Y, and Z as well, or just whatever? Just ask, like, what's needed for me to actually see this increased rate? Like, is it possible that we'd be able to, you say it's a 6% right now? What could we have to do in order to get that to an 8%?
Right. And you know what I think is going to be really interesting when people start trying that is, in my own experience, when you're dealing with niches that are not tech, people are usually after totally different metrics than you expect, right? So like usually you're like, oh, they're going to want to see all of the sales history. They're going to want to see all of the, dude, especially if you're in like health and beauty, if you can show them that even though you're an SEO affiliate, if you can show them that you have a great big email list and that you have a bunch of followers on your Instagram, they're all over that shit, because a lot of the time, these guys and girls don't necessarily actually understand SEO metrics. And the amount of people that then like reach out and they think that the affiliate manager is going to actually understand what, the DR of their website means, like, they don't fucking care. Like, they just want to see numbers, right? And a lot of the time, those numbers are different ones to the ones that SEOs expect. So very, very interesting. So let's see. A bunch more comments came in. So this is interesting. David Longacre just commented saying that nothing is now higher than 3%. I'm just going to go ahead and open that
so
real
those,
quick.
I think that's just for the categories that
they've mentioned,
adjusted. Right? Yeah, because not all the categories are here. Because I have 2 sites in 2 categories that were not mentioned in the different categories. So I think those are still what they were beforehand. I think one of them is like a 4.5%. So of all the updates that they made, nothing that they updated is higher than 3%. But there are still categories that will be higher than 3%. Because they do have another page that I found that shows the category for each, the percentage of each category.
So it's if you sign, this is actually a really good tip. So if you go into your Amazon Associates and you go on the help menu and then you go down to advertising fee schedule, that will show you the total fee schedule that they've going on. And so let's have a quick look at this thing that David shared, and we'll just compare it. So it looks like furniture, home improvement dropped from 8% to 3%. That's a 5% cut. I'm just trying to identify. So the luxury beauty and Amazon coins, I don't know what constitutes luxury beauty. Maybe somebody can ping on that. That looks like it's still going to be 10% after the update.
Yeah, automotive and sports, baby products, kitchen, health and personal care, that's 4.5%. I don't think, at least automotive, because I have a site in automotive and sports, so sports is actually cut down. So it looks like they're also kind of splitting up some of the categories a little bit, because health and personal care was cut down from 4.5% to 1%. Sports was cut from 4.5% to 3%. But on the updated, which doesn't appear to be on this as of right now, at least, should still be 4.5%.
Right. And guys and girls, if you do want to check that again, I'm just going to say sign into your Amazon Associates account. It's under the help menu and then advertising fee schedule, and you'll see everything. Of course, the new numbers are not there because they only become active as of April 21st. So make sure that you check in on that and stay on top of everything that's going on. I love Anthony's comment here. Thank the universe for COVID. Now we can isolate and create websites. You've got the right idea there, brother. Look,
I mean, at the end of the day, you can either just sit and whine or actually do something about it.
There's only so many times you can watch The Tiger King over and over.
Have you seen that?
I sadly have. Those are hours of my life I will never get back.
It's been promoted so much. I just need to sit down and get through it.
That's look. I've had a ton of fun on this. We have to do this more regularly. I doubt that when it's that maybe we have to like send Amazon an email so that we get, 40, 50 live viewers every time and be like, hey, Amazon, can you guys change the fees more regularly so we can keep these updates coming? I'd definitely like to do this again. Is there anything else that we should cover? I'm just trying to think. The fees changed. We kind of talked about, some of the recommendations that we have for pivoting. I think that the market is going to become very, very interesting just because of the COVID situation, as well as these Amazon changes over the next few months. A lot of opportunity, and what else? Yeah, just stay creative, keep doing stuff. If you find really good alternatives to Amazon, post them in the group that you found this video in. Not on my Facebook newsfeed, please. And share them with everybody else. I might put in a post up on SEO Butler with some alternatives and have my team research some that could be useful.
Yeah, I know Gail was commenting, and I'm pretty sure Authority Hacker has articles that are like niche specific where they mention like the best. I could be wrong, could be thinking of a totally different site, but I'm pretty sure they have at least some niches where they're like, hey, here are some of the best places to for commissions. If I'm totally wrong, I apologize, but that would be good to post. I feel like I've read that somewhere. I'm like only 90% sure is their site, but again, I apologize if I'm totally wrong.
So basically, if not, then everybody PM Gail and make
now
sure
he
that he creates a post.
Yeah,
Exactly. Guys and girls, I think, unless there's anything else, I think that's it from us. It was a very, very...
nice. He says he has about 1 million articles on it.
Perfect. There you go. Oh, yeah. Get that free CTR going. I see how it is. Love it. Gail, if you want to add another comment of like the full thing, then I can pin that comment if you like. Look, I don't think this is the end of the world, not in relation to COVID, not in relation to this Amazon update. I think we're going to see a lot of positive come out of the Amazon update. A lot of people are going to pivot. A lot of people are going to have very good ideas of how to make a crap load more money. One of the positives is hopefully we're going to do more of these Facebook Lives, dude. That'd be fun.
No, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that a lot of people decide to show up, watch it. And 68 comments. I mean, not bad for a random impromptu. We literally, you literally just asked me if I was around. I was like, yeah, we jumped on Skype. We're like, hey, live stream. Like, sure. And then we were live.
I think the biggest regret I have is that I didn't have enough rum ready. I didn't want to just like peace out halfway through the live stream.
Yeah, it's only 4 here, but I did have a glass of sake because I was eating some sushi earlier. But I was like, I need to not hit it too hard because I'm recording a podcast in a minute, and I need to be somewhat sober for that.
There we go. I have just pinned Gail's comment here, which is awesome. Look, I'm really excited. It's going to be an interesting time. It's been great chatting with you, Jarod. I now have to figure out how to stop going live via Zoom. I
think there should be a button on the bottom.
Let's see. So